Canon EOS's birthday, and we are in the party room. Yeah, baby, yeah. Here is to Canon EOS.
Happy birthday, the Canon EOS. We've both had ours for a year now. A year today.
Exactly, a year today.
This is a celebration of a truly brilliant camera.
Absolutely.
Come on, get the glug out.
Here we go, look. Oh God. Bubbles, bubbles, bubbles and troubles.
Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers.
Cheers, Canon EOS R.
Cheers to the EOS.
And cheers, Canon.
And cheers to all you at home for putting up with us. Lovely old job.
It's not bad, is
That's
it?
all right.
That's not bad.
Anyway,
So, you know, 1 year today.
Yeah.
1 year today. It should be celebrated.
Yeah. And we've just had the 1.4 latest firmware update.
Yes.
Which has made a huge difference.
And that was on a video recently.
Huge improvement on the eye focus and the focus in general.
Yeah.
And one or two other little things.
Yes.
Focus related. So, all in all, it is now matured after a year into a brilliant camera.
And what are we videoing on?
Oh, must be an EOS R. Good old EOS R.
And we've got a Sigma.
Oh, sell your mind, mate.
You might have to. Sigma 24mm. Is that 24? Sigma 24?
24mm f1.4.
Yeah, f1.4. The R lens. So that's what we're videoing on. And we're videoing at f2.8, 1/25th of a second, or 25 frames. ISO 100.
Yeah, very good.
And that was it.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to know. I'll go now. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Even though I've had this camera a year, I personally think it's really important to get to know your camera inside out, really. And there are still certain features on the EOS R that up until recently I've discovered, and even today I've discovered, which is amazing. So I'm consistent, even though I've had this a year, I'm consistently still learning about this camera. I'm using a gimbal right now, and it is, I can't remember the gimbal's name. I'll put it up there, and I'll tell you there. I can't actually physically see the name, but anyway, it's on the gimbal. When it's on the gimbal, the eye detect gets blocked by the back of the gimbal, and the screen then turns off.
Yeah, there's a little sensor on the back here.
Just when you go up close and show
can you see it? There's a little sensor just below the eyepiece that when you bring the camera up to your eye, it switches the screen off logically, and the what do we call it? IVF comes on.
Yeah.
So you can see what you're doing. But that was causing a problem on the gimbal because
a bit of a headache.
The gimbal was blocking that, and so the camera thought, hang on a minute, there's someone sticking their eye in me. So we're standing here and we can't see what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
But so we've remedied it.
We've remedied it
because the menu lets you switch the little sensor off and go screen only.
Can you remember what the menu is?
Yeah, it's the yellow spanner menu.
Yeah.
And then you go on
option 4.
Option 4 on that menu.
And then you're there.
And then you find it.
Yeah, easy.
And, well, this is not a tutorial, is it?
No, it's a celebration of the Canon EOS R. Hey!
Cheers, Richard.
Cheers, Richard. Hey! Where's your EOS R, Richard?
Yeah.
And anyway, look at our party room.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it looks fantastic, doesn't it? It's the business. Oh, I'll tell you what, it took me ages setting it up.
Yeah. If you keep watching, we promise you there'll be no dancing like your dad.
No, I can't promise that.
I can.
And the second option?
What?
The second option I've learned.
Go on.
I can't remember.
See, look, it's got to him already. I'll bet.
It's to do with the focus peaking.
Right.
Well, you knew about that before I did.
Yeah, because I use focus peaking on the macro work.
Exactly, but I've only recently learned about that. And I've recently learned that in the menus you can change colours for your focus peaking.
Yeah.
And when you've actually, what's brilliant about that is what I find is brilliant, because I've never used it before, to be honest. I've never really needed it. No, I haven't. I've not really needed it in landscape. But I might use this in landscape.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
Because
in all sorts. I use it I've got it on all the time now.
Yeah.
Because I use it for the Mac.
Well, I've switched mine on.
And I love it. Because when we first got these, you were excited, and I was excited too, about the Focus Assist.
Yes.
The little black box with the two arrows that line up, and when it's in focus, it turns green, bing bang bang. Brilliant, I thought, for my macro.
Yeah.
And then I discovered focus peaking, and my life has changed.
Yeah. No, so
macro work is brilliant.
Now I can see that. Now I don't know that anyone uses focus peaking for landscape, but I don't know. I don't know whether they do or not. But the thing is with the Canon EOS R, it's got colours, so you can see where it's sharp. So, for example, if you've got colour red, I think it's colour red, yellow, and green, I believe.
Yeah.
You can choose any colour depending on your scenario.
Any of those three colours.
Any of those three colours, depending on the scenario of your scene or whatever you're taking. So, for example, I suppose for me, if I'm doing a landscape and it's all greenery, then I'll probably use red because I can see it on the back of the screen or in the viewfinder. Thing is, what is really interesting for me with landscapes with the focus peaking, more than anything, is the fact that I can focus peak the background, get that in focus, especially with my tilt shift lens.
I was just going to say your tilt shift lens. Have you tried it? Yes, you obviously have.
Especially with my tilt. No, I haven't yet.
Oh, okay.
No, I haven't. So I haven't actually tried it, but the theory is in my head that if I focus on the background, I'll get that red and I'll get that pin sharp, and then I'll focus on the foreground. Well, I don't focus on the foreground. I bring the little white box down to the foreground, and that'll clearly be out of focus, won't it?
Yeah.
So you focus peak that, and get that in focus. Then you adjust your tilt. Your tilt. You adjust your tilt until you get both bang on, front to back, sharp. And that's what I love about that Canon tilt shift.
Yeah.
You can get it absolutely pin sharp front to back.
Yeah.
But also the focus peaking.
Yeah.
I reckon that'll work for that, don't you?
Yeah, it should do. Well, I've used, because macro is my speciality at the moment, and I am fortunate enough to have a set of tilt and shift bellows, which I can show you.
No.
Anyway, tilt and shift bellows for my macro work. So you're working at, I don't know, in excess of 1:1, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times magnification. With the focus peaking and the combination of that tilt shift, I can start wiggling the front element about of the bellows unit, and
rather than
with the focus, with the focus peaking, I can see, am I improving that depth of focus? Bear in mind we're talking about millimetres or fractions of millimetres, but it does work in the miniature size, so there's no reason it shouldn't work for your landscapes with your tilt shift.
Cool. Now, I'm just noticing something on the back of the screen there while you were talking. You're going like that with your camera, and I've also got a mic attached to it. We're actually videoing in sequence, and it's going from, when you hit up to your
abide in the eyes.
Yeah, it goes to your face detect, look.
And now it's back.
And now it's back to your eyes. Oh man, you get these technical problems, don't you?
You do.
Hey? Canon, why are you not? As good as you are.
Not Canon.
No, I know it's not Canon. I'm saying, why doesn't Canon make a nice gimbal for their cameras?
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
That would be awesome, wouldn't it? Yeah. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah.
And everything would work, wouldn't it?
That'd be some.
Right, this is Aircross, and we've just had a major issue really. The Aircross has a tendency to creep, and it just moves on its own, and it shouldn't. It's a nightmare. Anyone got a solution? Anyone got Aircross? That particular Aircross, it's quite a big one. Anyone got that? If they can put a link or a solution down below, I would love that to happen.
I mean, because you've always been happy.
Put that down.
You've always been happy that with that as a gimbal when you've been moving about.
Oh yeah.
It works very well.
It
but
does.
when you put it in a static situation like we need now,
Yeah.
it won't lock off. That's the problem. So it's doing that creep. So if anyone knows of a fix to get it to lock apart from super glue, that'd be quite good.
Or just turn it off and tape it up.
Yeah.
I'm using a Rode directional mic for the video as well, just so you know. And that's on the hot shoe, so that doesn't affect anything either. So yeah, cool beans.
Lovely job.
Right.
So
moving on.
EOS R, 1 year on.
1 year on. Love it. Can't beat EOS R, I'll tell you at the moment. I don't think you can.
No. The question needs to be asked, what's next for the EOS R?
Canon. I'm so impressed with the Canon EOS R.
Yeah.
Please, for me and for many landscapers, please bring out a slightly bigger, megapixel sensor.
And macroists.
Oh, and macros. He wants. Yes, he does.
Yeah.
That's true. Because he has made it really quite easy for the photographer to get those images now. In so many ways. Forget composition because that's down to the eye, but for photography in general, it's made it really lovely, and actually it's made photography using that camera a real pleasure to want to get out and take photos.
Yeah. Canon rumours have said, are saying that the 1DX Mark III prototypes are out with pros at the moment, and they're playing about with them in readiness for the Olympics, 2020 Olympics, which is what Canon always do. They focus on their top pro camera.
They want to announce that in February of 2020 apparently.
It's likely to be announced. The rumours have got 28 point something megapixel full frame sensor, 30 frames a second shooting speed, and IBIS in-body image stabilisation. Now, having heard those rumours, I have no doubts, because they're actually talking about prototypes being out there, which suggests there's some ground to it. But now, having heard that, suggests to me that, because there's been a lot of rumours about the next variant of the EOS R all over the internet, saying that it's going to have 60, 70 megapixel, possibly even closer to 100 megapixel sensor, and it's going to do this, do that, and be all singing and all dancing. Well, I don't think it is. I think it will definitely have a high megapixel full frame sensor, but I don't think it's going to go silly high, because you've got file size issues. I reckon it'll be around the 70, 75 megapixels. Which
what, for the next year?
I reckon, yeah, possibly.
Even that's too high though.
Well, I don't know, we don't know.
For me.
Well, bear in mind, Canon,
it's very high.
They've got 2 new Digit 9 processors in the 1DX Mark III, if the rumours are true, which is going to potentially have an enormous processing power, 30 frames a second. Got to have some processing power.
Yeah, you have. Yeah,
so if they stick 2 of those in an EOS R, with a high megapixel sensor, they've got the processing. Not going for high frame rate, it's probably going to be 7 or 8 frames a second. I don't need any more, you don't need any more. So there's a potential for the next one of these, it's going to be a cracker. Actually a cracker. And with the firmware update that we've had, that we just mentioned about the eye control focus and all the focusing aids that it's done, made a huge difference to an already good camera. Stick all that in, the new one, with maybe some improvements that we don't know about yet. Ian, EOS R, Canon are going to crack it. It's going to be wonderful. So roll on the next variation. But will I buy one?
I will.
Oh, we will.
I will. Because I want that. I want megapixels. If they bring out, I promise you now, Canon, you bring out 50 odd megapixel EOS R, same stuff as the EOS R's got, just more megapixels, please. I'm happy with that camera in the way it is. Don't go and up and give me some variation with 50 megapixels. I want that camera with 50 megapixels, please, and I will buy it. I will buy it all day long. Yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
End of.
Definitely.
Cheers. Lovely old job.
Lovely old job. Well done, Canon. Thank you very much. And good night.
Yes, and good night from me.
And it's good night from him.
Lovely old job.
Cheers.
Just a point of interest, at the end of this video, we've had a fantastic little talk and it's been great that Trevor's come along, and good friend of mine, and he does a lot of macro, whatever. Anyway, I'm digressing, but the eye focus on this camera, I cannot stress enough how awesome it is with that firmware update. I'm viewing it now and I'm just like all over the place, and it's just tracking me all the time, and it is just brilliant. I'm impressed. I'm so impressed. Now, I just had to say that, and it's just tracking my eye all the time. I can see this white square box on it, and it just looks brilliant. I'm over the moon. Thank you, Canon. Now get that other one out. I want that 50 megapixel EOS R, nothing played about with from the EOS R. Just give me the 50 megapixels and I'll be well charged. Anyway, it's a lovely old job. Now I'm off. See you later.